What's up, my knife people of YouTube? Okay, today we've got a cut test with the Bestechman Mini Dundee in D2. We're going to see how this guy performs. It's one of those knives that on the stones it feels very mushy, as does pretty much all the D2 from Bestechman. Just feels kind of gummy and on the soft side, so I'm not expecting it to do real good. My wife, she loves this knife. She carries it and uses it a lot. And in what she's doing, the edge retention's actually been decent, but you know, she's not really cutting all that much with it. Even though she uses it a lot, it's for stuff like opening, you know, cutting tape or opening up mail and stuff like that, so the edge isn't really getting put to use. But I've got a good feeling that the edge retention is going to be relatively lacking. I don't expect it to perform anywhere near what good D2 should do, but you know, I've been surprised before. Usually when they have that gummy feel on the stones, that tells the tale right there. If you got that gummy burr and just kind of gummy steel feeling as the stones are cutting the steel, it usually says that there's some heat treat issues going on. Usually retained austenite, and especially when you combine that kind of gummy steel with a gummy burr, it's usually what it is. So out of the three Bestechmans I've had in D2, they all are identical. They all have that gummy feeling steel when you're sharpening, and they all have a gummy burr that hangs on. I've never had one that just come off crisp or comes up crisp and the burr like crisply breaks loose. I've never had one of them do that, so I pretty much expect this to be relatively poor performing. I really have no idea what it's going to do. This knife is on its fourth edge, and we went ahead and did a DMT 325. That was the finished stone. It's dropped on 1 micron diamond for 5 passes per side, and it's at 17 degrees per side. Nice aggressive edge, easily shaving sharp. Trying to cut myself through this camera. Easily shaving sharp. So yeah, it's ready to go. Let's do this cut test and see how this stuff performs. I really don't expect all that much out of it, but we shall see. Alrighty, so just completed the test, counted it all up, 480 feet for this D2. And for D2, 480 linear feet of cardboard, single walled cardboard like this is terrible. You know, this one ply cardboard is pretty terrible. You know, it's abrasive, but it's not highly abrasive, so it doesn't wear edges super quickly. 480 feet for D2 is not very good at all. Yeah, that's definitely at the lower tier of where you're going to see China D2. Realistically, average China D2 is going to cut probably another 250 to 300 feet. Good stuff will break 1,000, so it's pretty unacceptable that, you know, this didn't even, D2 that's not even making 500 feet. If it wasn't Bestech doing it, I would almost guaranteed say that it's not D2 and that they're just saying it is and it's not. But I don't believe Bestech would do that, so, you know, they have too much of a reputation to uphold, so I don't think that they're calling this D2 when it's not. This right here is basically 8 CR to 9 CR type performance. Definitely not acceptable for D2. But filling on the stones tells the same thing, so, you know, it's not like it was a surprise. When you got that soft gummy steel on the stones, you expect it to not perform good, and well, it didn't. You know, and this is 4 edges in, so it's not like it, you know, oh, could possibly be in fatigued steel from the factory belt sharpening after 1 or 2 edges. This knife has 4 edges on it. It's definitely in good steel now. It's just soft, and the heat treat itself is not all that great. So, I mean, like I said, I really didn't expect. I expected better than this, but probably not a whole lot better. Yeah, if I was you and I was going to use my knife and was getting it, depending on edge retention, I would probably stay away from this company. This isn't the first one. They all feel like that, so I would assume this is probably average.